Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. My name is Oluyemi Adeosun, and tonight we'll be looking at a topic, building a culture of recognition and appreciation. And we are excited, elated, delighted, grateful, and very thankful to have with us again Tiwatope Oyewole as our facilitator. Thank you for joining us once again. Let me read her profile very briefly. Temitope Oyewole is a strategic result-driven HR professional with over 8 years of progressive experience delivering business-aligned people and administrative solutions. She holds a Bachelor's of Science and a Master's of Science in Public Administration from Leeds City University, Ibadan. She's an associate of the Tara Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. Currently, she serves as the HR manager at Bell Point Energy, where she functions as HR generalist, partnering with leadership to drive organizational effectiveness through HR business partnering, talent acquisition, performance and compensation management, employee relations, regulatory compliance, and change management. Outside of work, she is a value enthusiast, seasoned traditional wedding compere, and a lover of nature. She enjoys gardening, nature tours, reading, volunteering, public speaking, building warmth, clarity, and authenticity in her engagements. Speaking to us this evening on the topic, building a culture of recognition and appreciation, let's welcome most sincerely Temitope Oyewole. You have the floor, ma.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Confirmed.
All right, thank you. So today we'll be looking at a topic around building a culture of recognition and appreciation. And that speaks to moving beyond thank you to a culture that drives engagement, performance, and belonging. So we are HR professionals here, and I'm sure we know what culture is. Culture is what drives the way we live. Culture, in simply terms, is the way of life. And I want to try as much as possible to make this session very interactive because we'll be looking at some things that has to do with what is working in our organization on this particular subject and what we need to also improve on. Thank you for this privilege. It's a rare privilege to be with professionals this evening. So we'll be looking at the next slide. So what do we have here? When we see a situation whereby we have someone that is genuinely appreciated for what they do, or even putting yourself in the shoes of that person. I mean, there is a genuine appreciation of what you have done or your contributions to a particular cause. I would need us to put in the comment section for those of us that are here if we have been in that situation before whereby someone genuinely appreciated what we did. What did that person say to us and how did it make us feel? I don't know if we have anybody that wants to put it in the chat. I'll be looking forward to our responses. What did the person say to us? How did it make us feel? So we have two divides or two sides of the coin. The other side is now think about the last time you did something exceptional at work and nobody acknowledged it. How did that make you feel? So we have two sides of the coin. The first side speaks to when you did something genuinely, it was appreciated, it was seen. And the second side is when you did something exceptionally as well, nobody acknowledged it. How did it make you feel? Do we have anybody that wants to put their comments in the chat room? I want to see what it looks like for us when our contributions are being appreciated. Do we have anyone that is putting anything in the chat box? I'm trying to see. Okay. Thank you, sir. He said it makes him feel special and he felt like doing more. Okay. Have you been in a situation whereby you did something? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Someone said felt great and gingered me to do more. Okay. Have we been in a situation whereby we did something? It was exceptional. I mean, we are so proud of ourselves and nobody acknowledged it. Have we been in that situation too? If we have been in that situation, how did we feel? Do we have anyone typing anything? Okay, I'll continue. Then I'm sure that okay, yes, thank you. So I got a response here that I felt discouraged. Yes. So the reason why I'm asking these questions is because I want us to bring it home. We all feel good, we all feel special, we all feel elated, we all feel thrilled, we all feel happy when our work is recognized. But when it is the other way around, we feel discouraged, we feel disgruntled at some point, and sometimes some people even just back out and back off, and they're like, I don't think I need to be here because whatever it is that I'm doing in this system, nobody recognizes it. The truth of the matter is everybody feels valued when they are recognized and when they are genuinely appreciated. And what we are looking at this evening speaks to recognition and also speaks to appreciation. A lot of organization recognize, or let me say a lot of people, the system they are used to is a system of recognition, but it is not complete. Recognition must be backed up with appreciation. So we move to the next slide. So I'm saying this now that recognition is bigger than an award. Yes. So what's the meaning of recognition? Now, recognition is the deliberate act of noticing and acknowledging valuable contribution, behavior, achievement, effort, improvement, or impact. So recognition speaks to identifying something that anyone has done that is a plus or that has added to what we have within the system or that has helped us in achieving what we have set to achieve or that has made everything to work the way we planned it to be. Even in most cases, it is always an act that somebody has gone over and above in ensuring that we achieve that particular thing that we have set. So some people they mistake recognition to be giving awards, giving um, gifts, employee of the month, congratulatory emails, bonuses, celebration, celebrating birthdays, celebrating milestone celebrations. Yes, they form parts of what we can call the recognition package, but it is not all that it entails. Yes. So it is important for us to know that recognition is more than an award plaque. Recognition is more than a certificate. Recognition is more than an email. Recognition is more than a tagline. Recognition is more than a shout out. Recognition is more than a cake. Recognition and award, they are like two Siamese twins that work hand in hand. Sorry, I mean recognition and appreciation. Okay, so we now look at the definition of recognition, we look at the definition of appreciation, and we look at the definition of reward. And we would see that these three things that we have mentioned, they work hand in hand. Just give me a moment. I want to read from my notes here because I made a mental note of what I'm about to say. Okay, so recognition is the deliberate acknowledgement of contribution, achievement, behavior, effort, or impact. Appreciation is a more personal expression of gratitude for someone's presence, value, effort, or contribution, while reward is a tangible or intangible benefit provided in response to a contribution, bonus, gift, voucher, promotion, leave, development, etc. So, for recognition to be effective, it has to come from a place of intentionality. And how do I mean? It must be a deliberate acknowledgement, not just an acknowledgement that is done to fulfill all righteousness, or not just an acknowledgement to fill a column in our HR dashboard. No, it must be something that is deliberate, and it must speak to a contribution. It must speak to an achievement. It must speak to behavior. It must speak to effort. It must speak to impact. So, what this is trying to say, what I want us to know is that when we are talking of recognition, we are not only um, recognizing the forerunners. We should also put it at the back of our mind that there are some people behind the scenes that made whatever achievement we are celebrating possible. Let me bring it home. So we are recognizing the sales team for crushing the numbers. But I want us to know that it's not just the sales team that were able to crush the numbers. It wasn't just their English, it wasn't just their presentation, it wasn't just the fact that their leads could convert. No, there was a driver that was taking them to meetings. There was somebody that was putting the profile together. There was somebody that was preparing the invoices and the GRN. There was someone that was confirming payments. There is a quality assurance person checking the quality of the services and the products that we have delivered. So recognition in our day-to-day operations must not just be for those that we see at the forefront. It must also acknowledge the efforts and the impact of those that are behind the scenes. So, appreciation as well is a more personal expression of gratitude for someone's value, presence, effort, or contribution. Then, reward is a tangible or intangible benefit provided in response to a contribution, bonus, gift, voucher, promotion, leave, development. So, recognition must be backed up with appreciation, and appreciation plus recognition must be covered with reward. And the reward must be tangible. That means it should be something they can hold on to. And in instances whereby it's intangible, if they can't hold on to it, they should be able to see it and also feel the impact. So when we look at recognition versus reward, recognition follows, acknowledges contribution, and rewards provides a benefit. So when we are looking at the culture of recognition and appreciation, reward cannot be absent. We can't take reward out of it. When we take reward out of it and we just work with recognition and appreciation, we are just doing what I call a donkey on paper that cannot really run or that cannot pull its weight. So if we really want our employee engagement, our recognition and appreciation culture to be effective, it must be backed with reward. It must be backed up with reward. And um, every reward can communicate recognition. I mean, saying a manager saying that, okay, I'm so proud of you, you handled this difficult client very well, that is recognition. Thank you is appreciation. Thank you for holding it down for us. Thank you for doing that. That is appreciation. So because you have done this and you have proved to us that you are a part of the team, you have an ownership mindset, and we can always count on you. Take this voucher. That is the reward. You know, you could stop at saying, thank you so much for holding it down. We see what you do. It should not just end at we see what you do. We see what you do. We thank you for doing what you have done. Take this. Or as a result of what you have done, we are doing this for you. As a result of what you have done, you are promoted to this level. As a result of what you have done, we are increasing the scope of your work. Of course, it also comes with additional benefits in terms of compensation. So the culture that speaks to um, recognition and appreciation must be backed up with reward. If we do both recognition and appreciation, we have tried. But if we do recognition, appreciation, and reward, we have outdid ourselves. So I want us to also know that recognition is something that is seen every day. For our team members, we interact with them, we see them, we see what they do, we get feedbacks in forms of reports, in forms of daily check-ins, in forms of updates. Those are things that we see, we recognize them, we can cite them. And I want us to know that if we know that if someone is not doing well, or if someone drops the ball, we are going to let go of the person, or we are going to sanction the person, as the case may be. I think it is important for us to also be intentional, that for those that are outstanding and those that are exceptional, they must be recognized, they must be appreciated, and they must be rewarded. So recognition can be immediate and verbal. Reward often follows a defined process. So that could be after a review of the um, 2026 half year business reports. We are pleased to tell you to recognize your efforts, and the management appreciates you. And in lieu of this exceptional performance, we are moving you from level one to level two, and you would be doing this effective da 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 da. And attached with this letter is also a revised compensation package, or attached to this letter is a voucher for you to take your family out, or something like that. Recognition can be free, but reward always carries a cost. It's the pocket of the company will definitely feel the effect of rewarding an outstanding staff. Recognition can happen daily, but reward is usually less frequent. So it is like reward is what oils the recognition and the appreciation efforts that we put in place. So when we speak, or when we talk as HR leaders, what are the things that governs what we say in this recognition, appreciation, and reward system or reward culture that we are talking about? The first thing is employee engagement. You cannot be an HR professional, an HR leader, and you don't engage your staff. When you don't engage your staff, you would not even get feedbacks. And how can we engage them? We can do surveys, we can do anonymous surveys, we can have what we call HR check-ins. Even our appraisal system can also be designed in such a way that we get feedbacks. And what this does for us is it builds emotional and cognitive connection to work, organization, and also they feel that whatever it is that they say, or whatever it is that they air as their opinion, it counts. Everybody wants to thrive in a place where they feel heard, in a place where they feel seen, in a place where they feel that their opinion counts, and whatever it is that they are doing or they are saying matters. And of course, as HR professionals, we should also know that employee experience matters. The full journey. I mean, we see a lot of us when we are trying to attract talent into the organization. Some of them are already attracted to us from the way they are treated, even at the interview. Not because they are trying to patronize us, or they are trying to, do the job seekers game, trying to play that job seekers game. I love what you do. Some of them are genuinely in love with us from the first time we sent them an email that they will be interviewing with us. So our operations must speak to recognition and appreciation, even from the employee experience, why they are interviewing with us. Simple courtesy: thank you for coming, thank you for applying for this, or even if quote and unquote doesn't deserve the thank you, let's just put that there, because it also shapes the culture of appreciation and the culture of reward that we intend to build in these people when they eventually come on board. Then we should also speak appreciation culture, appreciation, recognition, and reward as part of our value proposition. When they ask us, what do we tend to enjoy? If I come on board, what are the other things I enjoy? Let them know that working with us or working with this team would give you the opportunity to be recognized, to be appreciated, and to be rewarded adequately, because we run a performance driven system that allows for people to show themselves and also bring their A game to the table. And when you bring that, we recognize, we appreciate, and we reward. And another thing is, we should also try to motivate, even though we say it jokingly that we are not a motivational speakers. But I think it is important for us as HR leaders, HR professionals, to learn how to motivate our team members, because the motivation is the force that shapes willingness, is the force that shapes direction, and it is also the force, that shapes persistence to act, persistence to contribute, persistence to add value. And we should also try as much as possible to create a system that speaks to psychological safety. As the HR leader in your office, as the talent acquisition, whatever name you call it, people and culture, can your staff feel safe to speak up to you? Will you not use their words against them? Will you not indict them based on the things they have told you? So we must allow these six things that we have here to reflect in the way we communicate, even policies. Even when we are trying to be objective, we should try as much as possible to be professional in our conduct, so that we will get feedbacks even without having to, beg for them. We will also create a safe space whereby people can say that, I am always happy, I look forward to always going to work because I know that I'm in a safe space. I believe we know that it is not only in places where they have dictators as bosses that we have the issue of toxic work environment. In places where people um cannot take responsibility, or where leaders cannot take responsibilities for their wrongdoings, and they push the mistakes and the errors to the subordinates, that is also not an LD workspace, or and it is also not an LD environment. In a place whereby people do things, people do stuffs, and they are not recognized, they are not appreciated, they are not rewarded, it is also not an LD work environment. And we should also speak when we are doing our operations with our staff. We should let them know in our core values, even if it is not expressly stated as part of our core values. We should try to, assure them that every member of staff, irrespective of their level, their cadre, their job title, their job role, they are accepted, they are valued, they are respected, and they matter. So the full mix of compensation, benefits, recognition, development, environment, flexibility, well-being, and culture speaks to total rewards, and also speaks to what we call an LD work life experience. So why does recognition matters? First of all, recognition matters in engagement. When you recognize people, you appreciate them, you spotlight them, you celebrate them, they feel connected. There is this sense of ownership that comes on them automatically. And it also allows for LD competition. LD competition. If you have worked with um, people that their job involves targets, whereby you set targets for them, and you see, especially if you work with sales, I've worked with sales a couple of times. When we do our review, business review, and we see those that have done well, I mean, sometimes I'm always jealous of them, and I always wish to also be in the sales team, because you see the engagement that comes from them. They will even be the one to start opening mouth and tell us, see, when I went to pitch our products to this person. This particular school used to be one of our best paying customer before, but they told us that they will not be adopting our titles again because this particular um, publisher has come to them and they are giving us this with this as incentives. So the reason why they are able to hear that opinions out is because they know that the system values feedback. And when they get feedback, they will definitely make use of it. And that will also, in a way, affect their own on the job delivery. So recognition matters. It helps with engagement. People feel connected when they believe and they know that their contribution is noticed and valued. I mean, I've seen some of my staff that are on the field that would call and tell us that this is what this person is doing. This is what this person is doing. I just had a conversation with them. I took them out for lunch and they began to tell me that this is why we have not been getting businesses from them like we have been getting before. So I just said I should let you know so that you can tell the management and we can do the needful. And of course, when we look at all those things, all those observations that they have given unto us, and we work on those blind spots that they have spotted, it's something that definitely always improves the business nature of the business. Recognition also helps retention. I'm sure if all of us, or if people, permit me to say that people that are jumping in between jobs, if they, especially those that are good, I'm not talking about those that are lazy and faffing around, I'm talking about the exceptional and those top talents that we know that they are a value addition to anything. They will also value stability if they are recognized, they are appreciated, and adequately rewarded. Nobody wants to feel invisible. Nobody wants to feel undervalued. Nobody wants to feel unappreciated. And I want us to know that this does not only speak to salary, because a lot of business leaders or a lot of business owners, they feel that when, as much as I'm not owing you salary, I don't owe you a thank you. You are working for what I'm paying you for. Are you working for free? No, it goes beyond that. Even when we know that there is a contract, the contract is all, there's an agreement. The agreement is you do this for me, and at the end of the month, I pay you. So if we have that at the back of our mind, we should put some sense of appreciation and recognition into the system. We should not make our staff feel less of themselves because they are working for us. I've seen a lot of people that opted for pay cuts because where they are currently is a place that pays them well, but they are not valued, they are invisible, they are not appreciated. So they opted for a job with a pay cut that would allow them to be seen, to be valued, and to be appreciated. Whatever it is that is appreciated, multiplies. If we appreciate things, if we recognize things, there is a multiplying effect that it has. And also, recognition matters for performance sake because it reinforces the behaviors the organization needs. Sometimes it could, speak to collaboration, that's team spirit, innovation, ability to think, to come up with novel ideas, accountability, service. These are some of the things that recognition helps with. And I want us to know that if something is noticed, it gets repeated. If leaders celebrate only results, employee will prioritize results. So we must not just celebrate results. Let us celebrate results and the behavior behind it. We have some people that are very good on the job, but behavioral wise, they lack. They are not accountable. They don't have integrity. They are not team players. I mean, when you're trying to pair them up with some people in some team, everybody will try as much as possible to withdraw because they know that working with this person is like working with the devil. So when we are celebrating outstanding and exceptional performances, it should not just be on performance alone. It should also be on the attitude and the behaviors behind it. That is why most of the time when we come up with our appraisal template, there is usually a side for performance and there is usually a side for behaviors. So the performance speaks to how you are able to translate your technical skills in deploying what you are expected to do. Then the behavioral speaks to the attitude at which, the attitude at which you carry out this task. So are you a team player? Are you accountable? Do you keep to time? Do you have integrity? Are you not falsifying figures just because you are able to work out the numbers and you get things done? Can people rely on you? Are you bankable? Are you accountable? Who are you accountable to? Are you not the kind of person that when they ask for updates, you be like, upon everything I'm doing for you people in this company, you are still asking me for updates on this particular thing? No. The recognition must not only be centered on performance, it should also reinforce behavior. That is what will give us an awesome top performer. So, when we speak to recognition, how should it be done? A lot of people they just say, "Good job." Yes, they have recognized, but that is vague, that is weak. So our recognition must be noticed, it must be named, it must be explained, or they must know what it means, and it must be reinforced. It must be noticed, it must be named, we must know what it means or why it matters, and it must be reinforced. So a typical example is what we have here. A client is able to resolve his issue with a staff is able to resolve his issue with the operations team, and they're able to resolve it. The customer is happy, everybody is happy. Instead of just saying, "Hello Dara, good job," don't let it end there. Good, what is the good job? Highlight it. Because most times when you even appreciate these people, some of them just think that what they have done is on the surface. But when you list it out, you name it, they see that what they think they have done or what they think they have achieved is even more than what is on the surface. You have seen with your eagle eye and you have been able to identify what they have done. No, now look at the three metrics we have here. We have weak, we have better, we have strong. So weak speaks to good job. Better means, or better speaks to thank you for resolving the client's issue quickly. Better, but still not the best. The best, or let me say, the strong recognition will be thank you for taking ownership of the client's issue and coordinating with operations to resolve it the same day. That's exactly the customer ownership will expect. I believe you know that in this strong metrics that we have here, we have highlighted both performance and behavioral competencies. Somebody that is able to take ownership of the client's issue and coordinated with operations speaks to the person taking initiative. Coordinating with operations also speaks to what? Speaks to team playing. You are able to interact with departments across levels. So we should let them know that we noticed it, we know what they have done, and we know that this particular thing that they have done, it matters. And we must also highlight the value that it brings to the table, and also let them know that we want it to be a continued process and not just a one-off thing. So the 5 W's of effective recognition. Recognition, the first one is who, the second one is what, the third one is why, the fourth one is how, and the fifth one is when. So here we need to understand what works for our team or what works with the people that we work with. A lot of people, they enjoy public recognition, they enjoy awards, they enjoy team announcements. I've seen someone walk up to me, one of my team members, that you have really recognized that I'm able to do this, I'm able to do that. Please let everybody know. Don't let the recognition be within the senior management alone. Like they should not be the one highlighting um my exceptional performance. Let every member of the team know. And the reason why this person came to make this request was because when she was dropping the ball, it was known to everyone. So I learned a lesson from that. The same way you sanction, the same way you attack, or the same way you correct, or the same way you put disciplinary actions or put PIP in place when the staff is lacking or dropping the ball. I think and I know for sure that when the staff picks up and the staff becomes exceptional, it is also important for us to spotlight and celebrate them. So we must understand who deserves the recognition. We must understand what did they do exactly. It must be specific, not just giving vague recognition. It must be specific. Why did it matter? What impact did this have on the team? What impact did this have on our business? How should it be communicated? Do we communicate it publicly? Do we recognize you? Do we give you staff of the year, staff of the month, employee of the year? Do we do teams announcements? Do we give you more responsibility? Because they said that the reward for hard work is more work. Then when should we communicate that? So this speaks to being objective in deploying this recognition system. We must know those that deserve it, no sentiments in place. And this should also be cascaded down to line managers. Because HR, our own role is just to guide them. Most of the line managers are the ones that have the bulk of the work to do, especially those that have large teams, especially in teams whereby they are not working with numbers, or some of their work are just based on um, BTS, that's behind the scenes thing. So we must be able to let their line managers know. You must identify who your team members are, know their areas of strength, know their areas of weakness, know who can do what, know who deserves recognition. Even if you have personal beef with them, try and settle your personal beef. Don't let that come in the way of performance. Because we have seen a lot of instances whereby a lot of line managers, they cover up, they not cover up in a good way, but they overshadow their subordinates. They take the glory for what their subordinates do. And that speaks to that line manager not being a team player. You can take the accolades, but I think uh, a simple disclaimer, not in a way to undermine those that have appreciated you. Say thank you so much, but I can't do this. I take all these accolades with every sense of humility, and I will also like to appreciate my team members for their dedication, for their support. Just bring it on. The same way we interact between our team would also reflect in the way they perceive us. Because they see these things, they're like, there's nothing you do for God. God will never appreciate you. That is not a good culture, and it must be properly checked. So I want us to have this interactive study. I believe that we have um, a good number of people on the call. Yes. So this is this case study now. A sales manager exceeded her quarterly target by 35%. The CEO wants to recognize her. However, during the same quarter, operations worked several weekends to support our client. Finance resolved several urgent payment issues. Customer service handled complaints from new clients. She regularly acknowledged other departments as herself. Let me also say that legal department also reviewed agreements. We have a lot. So the company only has one star performance award. I want us to discuss this for 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll be waiting for our comments in the chat box. Is the sales manager the only person who created the result? How do you think the result, the award should be done. How should it be properly done without making every member of the other departments disgruntled? Operations, finance, customer service. How do you think that should be done? I'll be waiting to read from us in the chat. Do we have anyone typing anything? So while I wait for our comment and our contribution, one thing I want us to know is every individual performance has a collaborative performance behind it, or a collaborative contribution behind it. A tree, they say, cannot make a forest. So if you have a sales staff that is an high flyer, you should definitely know that it's not the sales staff that is able to just get it done on our own. It also means that there are a lot of other team members that have joined and have put hands together to ensure that she's able to close out on those deals. In some instances, we have some departments that are in charge of putting agreements together. They are the ones that will check the NDA, they are the ones that will review the agreement, see if the SLA aligns with what the company will need and the like. I mean, that they just review it and ensure that the company is covered. The finance also, they have paid, they have not paid, invoices have not cleared. You need to raise invoice, you need to send GI, you need to do this. That is the finance work. So we should try as much as possible to I also identify that every member of the team matters. HR also has a say in this too. It is HR that would, you know, try as much as possible to intervene in instances whereby the team across board are being overwhelmed. Thank you, Victoria. I can see your response. Say recognize and appreciate every team, pay overtime to those who worked extra hours on weekend, reward the sales team tangibly. Thank you. I love your response. Your response cuts across every team that contributed to the success of the sales manager. So I just want to, be practical with this. Even though we have just one award and we are giving it to the sales manager because she's a star performer, it is also important for us to identify every effort behind the performance, every contribution, every value, every impact behind the performance. So our recognition should consider outcome plus behavior plus collaboration and um, impact. So a practical. Yes, thank you, Deji Bruce. Awards, rewards, and recognition in different capacities. Yes, thank you. I agree with that. The reward and the recognition should be given to them in their different capacities. It's not going to be a one size fits all for every one of them. So I want us to look at a practical recognition framework, 5 levels, and these 5 levels is sequential. It moves from daily to weekly to monthly to quarterly and to annual. I want us to also know that we cannot build something on nothing. So it must be a culture that must be entrenched in our team. It must be imbibed in our team. Our team must see it as part of what makes the workplace thrive. So, level one, daily. I mentioned this earlier. Manager to employee. That should be within teams. Line manager and the people they supervise. A verbal thank you, team shout out. I mean, these things they don't bite, or they don't even cost a lot. Thank you so much for holding it down. Thank you for helping. Thank you for making our work easy. Thank you for holding this team together. Everybody, let's celebrate Mr. A for being a good team player. So that should be part of our daily operations. I know that there might be times whereby we might all be very busy and we don't have time to be doing any shout out. Everybody's like, well, Ogami, I don't have time. Oh. I'm just all about my deliverables, yes, but we must try as much as possible to imbibe it as a culture. Weekly, when we have our weekly teams meeting, our weekly check-ins, let us, the same way we are going to identify those that did not deliver their task, I think and I know that it's important for us to also recognize and appreciate those that were outstanding in delivering their job. We must celebrate them. It could be maybe if you do your check-ins on Mondays, you appreciate them. If it's on Fridays, just make it part and parcel of you. And for monthly, especially for those that work with targets, they must this this level speaks to structured recognition. At this point, you highlight the values. I mean, the team member that is loud on value, the team member that is loud on customer service, the team member that is very innovative and can take initiative. Let that be done. We should not only wait for when we are doing appraisals before we recognize outstanding or top performers. Our recognition should be part of our operations. Then quarterly, that is strategic recognition. When we give reports, when we do our quarterly reviews and we do everything, we must also identify those that are very loud on teamwork, those that their operations have a high impact on the customer or our client basis, and those that have, taken up leadership roles. Yes. Then level five is the annual. I'm sure most of us here in our firm, in our companies, we do end of the year, what's it called? End of business year, end of the year parties and the like. So it can come with employee or manager of the year award, long service award. And remember I said it, every award, every recognition must be backed up with a reward, not just about giving them a plaque or giving them a certificate or even putting them on the newspaper or posting them on the notice board. There must be something tangible or intangible in form of reward that this recognition and this appreciation must have as a backup. So now I'm speaking to recognition across the employee life cycle. Recognition should start from recruitment. I say it sometimes. Some of us, when we sit on that talent acquisition seat, when we are on the panel interviewing people, we behave like demigods. We are so hostile. We will be like, they are looking for a job now. If they cannot wait, let them go. No, even if they are the worst of of all the candidates that you have, still recognize the efforts the candidate has put into applying for that role. Sometimes my team members do tell me that, HR, why do you like to patronize people? And I made them to understand that it's not about patronizing. I mean, you see that when I'm shortlisting for those roles, I'm like, why would this person apply for this role? Imagine I'm hiring for operation staff and you're applying because you have POS experience. I'm angry. Or I see some people, I see how scattered their CVs are. I'm just like, oh God, you have 2017 before 2023. I mean, you have 2017, 2023, you now have 2015. Everything is just scattered. But I'm just like, okay, let me give this person still has what it takes. Let's interview this person. And when we come on the interview panel, and I still thank them, thank you, Mr. A, for coming and for putting effort in applying for this role. We are so pleased to have you and would be looking forward to having a fruitful conversation during this interview. And I was just, try and look at my team members and I'm seeing them giving me some sort of funny eye that really, are you trying to patronize this person? No, I'm not patronizing the person. I'm actually recognizing the efforts because the candidate has definitely put in an effort. And even in instances where we have people that have good CVs, because I should also not, speak about the bad side. There are times that I have good CVs and, well, beautiful CVs. I recognize them. I tell them that I appreciate the intentionality at which you put in putting your CV together is well put together. And I also hope that you will be able to speak to what you have there. I mean, not in a way to demean them, but in a way to let them know that we read through, we appreciate you, and we are looking forward to see how you can deliver on the task. So our recruitment should not be uh, a military drill. Yeah, I know it can be very tough because we are trying to attract top talent. We are trying to put strict measures in place. Yes, but at the same time, we must try as much as possible to put in the recognition and the appreciation culture from the beginning. During onboarding, especially for organizations that have structured onboardings whereby onboardings can go on for as long as a month. I mean, some tier one organizations have their academy that you would go to maybe for 6 months. I mean, it's something they do in banks though. I know some FMCG also have that as part of their onboarding process. So each of these milestones, HR should celebrate them. I mean, you can just send a mail cheering them on, thanking them. For instance, in my own firm, our onboarding is just for a week, and the onboarding starts with me because of course HR, you run them through the values and the do's and don'ts, more like the housekeeping rules and the likes. And before the end of day one, you will see me reach out. How is it going? And when I see that they have reached 50% of the onboarding schedule, I send them an email that we appreciate your resilience, we appreciate your dedication, and we see from feedbacks that we have received, we see that you are a value addition to this team. That person will feel like, oh wow, I've not even started though. It's just onboarding, it's orientation they are doing for me, and they're already celebrating me. You're already motivating the person even before they start working. Performance, progress should be recognized. See, for those of us that have um staff that we bring on board during probationary period, it is important for us to always recognize their progress, particularly if they are people coming from one industry to another industry. We must learn to always recognize their progress. We must not only be about the outcome or about the results. We should also learn to recognize the process, recognize the result. Oh, I was told that in order for you to achieve this, you have done this, you have done that. Keep up, just keep it up. I'm sure that if you are consistent with this and if you follow the due process, you are going to get it. Yorubas will say, "Kushe omamori onishe yan." So we should not only wait till they have the big results or they have the big outcome before we celebrate them. Recognition must also be done while we are on the process. Then L&D, a member of your team, just told you that is now a chartered accountant. And you think it's just, congratulations now. What's the big deal? No, you celebrate them. That's an intentionality to self-development. Let it be recognized. I mean, I know some organizations that the reason why their team members are going for professional advancement or they are trying to improve themselves is because they know that once you have those certifications or once you are certified and you have proof, you will be handsomely rewarded. You will be recognized, you will be appreciated, and you will be rewarded. So we must celebrate those certifications. Maybe they have their ACIPM, MCIPM, FCIPM, ICANN, ATS, anything that is a value addition to where they were before they joined the organization. They must be adequately recognized and appreciated. Their career development, you see people that are they have that ability and they are very ready, they are ready to grow. They come up with you that, okay, I see that the way the scope of my work is going, and in order for me to function well as much as I would love to function, I need to go for courses like this. Those are, yes, it's still a process. He has not even done it, he has not even started, but the fact that he could think and he could come up with such idea, that should be adequately recognized. It must be recognized. Then also exits. A lot of companies don't manage exiting staff at all. They don't manage them well. You hear, yes, I mean, some bye byes, and there is time for everything. That's when they start quoting scripture. A time to come and a time to leave. I know that before you came here, you made a decision. Now that you are leaving, you have also made a decision. I wish you all the best. Not saying it with the right tone or saying it with the right mindset. Because you know, in some organizations, the moment you resign, you are setting up yourself for problem. So a lot of people used to try as much as possible to be mentally ready ahead of resignation because they know that even if they come, if they are to resume by 8 and they resume 7:30, there will be a problem. Why are you resuming? I'm just trying to, be funny, or I'm trying to just let you know how petty some organizations can be. So when people leave our system, when people leave our company, let us recognize their efforts, especially those that are high performers. Don't let us say what did they do. Don't let them say, don't let us say if you leave, another person will come and do your job. No, no. In as much as we are able to keep that person in the system for us for the number of years they stayed, that means that they are adding value to us. So they must be recognized. Their work must be appreciated. Some I mean, there is a story that comes to mind now, and anytime I remember that story, it makes me cry because not because I'm trying to be sentimental, I'm trying to be emotional, but I just feel that that's only that action in particular has an effect on the retention strategy of that company. Imagine somebody working in a place for 11 years and the person leaving the system, and nothing was done, no severance package, nothing. And the defense was, when she was working, we didn't owe her any salary. We paid all her salary. So why should we do anything? I mean, as HR, a lot of people came to me to question it. But we heard that because the car that the person was using, actually, the person dropped it. And they were like, why would the person drop the car? The company is supposed to um sell off the car to her, even if they cannot dash her and the likes. I just had to manage that. There are a lot of things that we do that you people don't see. So the fact that person returned the car does not mean that we did not somebody said I know an organization. The moment you put a resignation letter, you become the MD's enemy. Yes, they exist. They are not in mass. They are on this earth. They exist. So we must, you know, not just recognize people while they are with us. Let us appreciate people after they have gone because we are partners. Some people have what we call legacy information. They have historical facts that if you like, go and bring anybody from Harvard, the person cannot give you what this person has. So you the same thing we tell staff that when you are leaving a place, don't burn bridges. It also applies to employers too. When a staff is leaving you, don't bang the door, don't burn bridges. It is not only the employees that can burn bridges, even you as the employer can also burn bridges. I know we've seen cases or instances of people exiting an organization, and where they went to, they sent for a reference, a reference from the organization they left, and they said a lot of bad things about the candidate because they never wanted him to leave. He left, and they just feel that the best way to get back to him is to give him a bad recommendation. All these things, they should be checked. So recognition is from both recruitment to onboarding, through the performance process, through the L&D, career development, and the final exit. So recognition woven through every stage becomes part of the employee experience, not a once a year HR event. So when we look at the HR's role and the maturity curve, HR is not the recognition police because that's what most organizations are trying to make the HR. No, the recognition and the appreciation culture and the reward culture that we are talking about is the job of everybody. Is the job of everybody. So what do we do? First of all, if in our organization, recognition, appreciation is absent. This is the level at which we are. If it is reactive, reactive, that means it is only for exceptional wins. It is only when some people do some things that they are appreciated, or it is only when some people do some stuffs. They have a name for them. Is it the preferred? I'm trying to look for a name they call them. This, yes, the employers' babies, or the heartbeat of the company. They are the only ones that are always celebrated. No, recognition, like I mentioned earlier, must cut across every level. Even if you have a personal beef with this person, sometimes some people's village people follow them to the office, and somebody will just hate them for no reason. That is not a good reason for you not to appreciate or recognize them if they are doing well. In as much as whatever it is that you are hating them for is personal and is petty, please settle your pettiness and your personal issues outside. Don't bring that into the office. If um on the bad, this is where we are. We have a structured recognition system. That means that is a place where formal awards exist. And I mentioned that formal awards must be backed up with rewards. Recognition awards are just one-sided. What makes it complete is the reward. In integrated recognition system, every recognition, every appreciation is linked to value, and also linked to the contribution of everyone, and also linked to a sort of tangible reward that we can hold on to. And of course, we must all if we have it at this end, in that orange color, that means recognition is embedded. It is part of everyday leadership. In some organizations, when you even meet with their drivers, as low as that cadre is, you see them say, I'm proud to be a driver in this company. That means that they are valued and their work is seen. So we must, as HR professionals, we must design a recognition model. We must enable it. The environment must be created in such a way that recognition, appreciation, and reward can thrive. We must educate, we must let people know, because a lot of people hide under the disguise of ignorance. That I don't know that this little thing that this person did, I should celebrate it. You must educate them and let them know how it works. We must govern, and as we must follow up with the implementation. Let's guide, let's ensure its compliance. We must measure how effective is this. Is this really working? Is this giving us what we want it to give us? And we must see to it that it evolves. Yeah, it evolves. So you should even check it if in a particular period it is the same set of people that are being rewarded. It should be checked. What happens to the others? Are they dropping the ball? Do they need help? How can we come in? Because we are trying to create an high performing team, and we are also trying to create a system whereby every members of the team is valued. So as we wrap up this session, our key takeaways should be that recognition is not the same as reward. Recognition is different, appreciation is different, reward is different. But a lot of organizations, they only do recognition and appreciation. Reward left the WhatsApp group. So we need to add reward back. Recognition, appreciation, and reward, they move together. And the reward can be tangible or intangible. We must also know that what gets noticed gets reinforced. What gets noticed gets repeated, because when people see that, this person did this little thing, they celebrated him. It's like this culture is really working here. On its own, it gets reinforced. Recognition should also reinforce both results and the behaviors behind them. That is, recognition should not only speak to performance, it should also speak to behavioral. It should speak to the behind the scenes, the attitude, the motive, even the contributions behind these exceptional performances that we are looking at. And I want us to know, as HR professionals, we design the system, we design the framework, we design the structure. It is the team leads, the managers that create the everyday experience. So, and I also think that, not even I think, I hope that this thing should also come, should be cascaded down from the senior executive down to the managers and down to their team members. Because if the senior um executive does not really appreciate what the managers are doing, I just feel that it also have a way of rubbing off on the way they also treat their team members. I've had situation whereby people come to me and they say that, why is it that it's when I don't do anything well that you people call me? I mean, I'm speaking of practical examples, that you people shout at me, you people do all this. How about times that I've been able to come up with cost saving measures on this? How about times I've been able to manage this client? How about times that I've been able to handle this particular person that would have costed us this, and we were able to manage it? And I had to speak to their line managers that you should not only always dwell on the mistakes and the errors or the time they misbehave. Try as much as possible to also recognize, appreciate, even if rewards is not within your pay grade, but appreciation and recognition is something you can do within your thing. So, number five, a recognition culture is built through consistent everyday behavior, not one annual ceremony. So, just like we know that culture is the way of life, so a recognition culture is built day in, day out. It is not only when we do our end of the year party and we now have an array of awards where we say this person is the staff of the year, champion of the year, team player of the year. No, the recognition culture, the appreciation culture, the reward culture is built through consistent everyday behavior, not just one annual ceremony. So, people may forget the exact words you used, the bonus they received, or the award they won, but they will remember what it felt like to be seen, valued, appreciated at work. The better question for HR is not how do we recognize our employees? The question is, what do we want our people to feel, repeat, believe because of the way we recognize them? So, as HR professionals, people would always hold on to how we made them feel, how we made them feel on the job, what we made them believe, and what we believe about them. So it is important for us to know that recognition, rewards, even though reward is very good because it comes with the tangible and the intangible, it is also important to know that the way these things are being done, or the way the recognition and the approach at which we handle this recognition is really important. There is actually a poll I wanted us to yes, this is it. I'm not sure how I missed it. So before we round up, I want to ask, I want us to put our comments in the chat box. 5 questions to ask when an employee performs well. What did they do? What behavior did they demonstrate? What impact did it create? Which organizational value does it represent? And how can I recognize it appropriately? So this is a script. So I want us to adopt this script. So, we talked about the sales manager that outdid herself by 35%, and there was just one award for the year. We all, commented in the group on how that should be handled. So I want us to use this script following these 5 questions. It has to be an hypothetical responses, because I would also appreciate that we keep the matters in our different organizations confidential, which is really good. So this is a script. I want us to type in the comment section. Let's answer the question. Let's picture in our head a staff or an employee. What did that person do? What behavior did that person demonstrate? What impact did it create? Which organizational value does it represent? And how can you as a person recognize it appropriately? Do we have anybody doing that? So this is a script. So I noticed that you Number one will be here. The response to number one, you did this, and this made a difference because you put number two here. I particularly appreciate the impact and the da 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 da. Number four, this demonstrates our value of. So I want us to, do we have someone doing that already? I'm waiting in the chat to read. So I want us to take some seconds to fill the blanks for that blank space for someone in our team now. Okay, I'm also typing my response so that it doesn't look like I'm asking us to do what I don't want to do. We can put hypothetical names. It doesn't have to be their names. Do we have anybody here? Okay, while we wait for people to send in their responses in the chat, do we have any question, any contribution, any subtraction or addition before we call it a day? I'm still waiting for our responses. I'm typing my response as well.
Yeah, good evening, Taiwo. Thank you for this session. I don't know, I actually have a question.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, my question is in talking about recognition and reward, I remember just a scenario that happened in my office, a time that I wanted to reward staff, and I wanted to do anonymous and other to for people to pick
Nominate.
and yet for people to nominate. So the MD was like, it should just be for team members alone. I should exclude the team lead. So it's but the team lead were grumbling like they are still staff and all that. So I don't know, is that a good way to, is there a best practice on that? If team lead should be exempted for nomination in terms of reward and recognition, or should it be everybody inclusive? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. So I want to believe that the recognition should be by category, because if the team leads, if they drop the ball and they don't do what they are supposed to do, they are not hitting their numbers, they are not getting their deliverables done, I'm sure the MD will not say they are team leads and you should leave them. The MD would say that maybe put them in PIP or let them go. Maybe they need to go and rest or go and sort out themselves. So what I think you should do, or what I would advise you to do, is to speak to the MD and let him know that recognition, appreciation, and reward is a culture thing. Yes, um it might not be for the general, I mean, or you might not use the general approach that you are using for everybody by filling the anonymous survey. The one for the team leads can be at the discretion of the MD, because they report into him and he has seen these people and he has worked with them. So you can just let him know that they are members of staff and they are also working. As a matter of fact, it is because they are able to work. That is why we have team members to work with them. So they should not be left out in this thing, in this recognition or appreciation process. While we are trying to do nominations for team members, we can do um their own selection or their own appreciation or their own recognition can be done at the management discretion, whereby it is the MD that decides on who gets what. So you should try as much as possible to let him know that recognition and reward and appreciation itself is expected to cut across all levels and should not be made a junior staff team or a senior staff team. As a matter of fact, you will be shocked. Imagine them saying they are also members of staff, and that is the truth. They're also members of staff, and if they are not doing well, if they are not delivering on the job, the MD will not say because they are managers, let me leave them. As a matter of fact, the fire that he will even put on them, the pressure we mount on them will even be more than the team members. So it's just you as the HR trying to communicate that culture to him as a culture that should cut across all levels and all cadres of the workforce. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I saw someone's on the simple script I asked us to write. I can see someone trying to recognize and appreciate their team members here. That's amazing. It says I Ade, I noticed that you landed 15 new clients this month, 10 more than you did last month. This made a difference because it improved our overall turnover. I particularly appreciate your ownership mentality. This demonstrates our value of consistency. Thank you, you rock. Is this person a Gen Z? I want to believe this is a Gen Z team lead because even from the closing notes, I mean, you rock. That's what the Gen Z is like. So, can you see this? This script highlighted what the person did. That is what the person did was he landed 15 new clients, 10 more than what he did last month. So that's like a comparative analysis. So that means he did 40 last month, then he's doing 50 or he has done 50 this month. And what did he do? I mean, what behavior did he demonstrate? He demonstrated a behavior that speaks to ownership. What impact did that make? Of course, 10 plus 40, that's 50. So that means it's an increase in their revenue. It's also an improved overall turnover. And again, what organizational value? That's ownership mentality. And that also demonstrates the value of consistency. So we should not just say, thank you for doing the job or thank you for being on top of your game. That's too generic. Let us be specific. And I think I also have another question here. Okay, thank you, Stella. Thank you for the comment. Say thank you, Tiwa. This is an exciting and impressive presentation. You are a performance excellent per excellence. Oh, okay, thank you. My question is that what would be your advice considering an organization with much generations? People preference differ in terms of reward, especially non-financial rewards. If you have had this experience, how were you able to reconcile it? Okay, I think I understand what you are trying to say. In instances whereby you have the Gen Zs, the baby boomers, the millennials, some people might want an iPhone, while some people might want gas cooker. So I think what you should do should be that you set I'm sure there will definitely be a budget for each of these rewards. So you must try as much as possible to look for something that will suit either generation or any of the generations, whether they like it or not. I've had a similar instance, although um, it was a long service award. So the budget they gave, I think, was 500 for 10 years to get something amongst other things. I mean, to get something that is tangible. So what I wanted to get for the person, because the person that wanted to give that 10 years thing is a mancello. So is a bachelor, sorry. Call him a mancello because is an old man that does not want to get married. But he's a bachelor, he's not married. So when we went to the market and we did our market survey and the likes, what we wanted to get him was not close to it. So I just had a conversation with him. Started asking what's even going on. Is it babe you did not find? Or what's the problem? I will even come and visit you in your house one day. I was not like, don't come and visit me. I don't have TV. Oh, that was how I knew what we were going to get in. So, in instances whereby you have issues with different generations and the likes, if you are not able to use my approach, because I was able to just through a conversation with him and the likes, you can just look at something that can serve either generation. We all use generator, we all use solar inverters. Even if your budget is not up to that, maybe washing machine, maybe generator, something that you know that might be an household appliance. I don't know how big your company is, or it could be maybe a landed property or something. It should just be something that you know that irrespective of their generation, it's going to serve a purpose. And you could also try as much as possible to sample opinions. Yeah, you can even throw it out. That's if you want to give out gift for outstanding staff, what are the things you feel we should give? And from the responses, you begin to know what to do and how to manage it. Of course, you get responsible and say, if I was if it is me, I mean nobody should give me generator. There's one washing machine that I've been eyeing. You just hold on to that. As HR, we must be able to. I tell people that our work in a way is like the work of a CID. You was able to get information. You was able to just throw something out, and people will begin to say what they are not supposed to say, or they begin to give you information as much as you will need it. So you must just try as much as possible to use that approach. That person, that my colleague that was telling me, when we gave him the TV, he just came to me and hugged me and told me I'm not serious. Because after that, I was asking me, so when will you come? I said, he said you don't have television now. I mean, I love to watch news and like, so why will I come to your house and I will not see anything to watch? And it was on that TV, may God just do it for me. And that was how I was able to manage it. So I don't know if that answers your questions. Yes, thank you. I thought as much. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other question? It's only Deji. Who is this? Yes, Deji that was able to send in the script. Do you have any other person that wants to send anything? Because I can see that our time is fast spent. We have spent an hour and 30 minutes, and we need to call it a day. Okay, do you have any question? Do we have any submission, any addition, and whatever? Okay, if we do not have any question or any submission, I think this is a good place for us to call it a day. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for being a part of this HR mentorship learning series. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everyone.
Thank you, Tiwa. Thank you so much for this presentation. It was a lovely evening. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you
Good
for the session.
night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Auntie Tiwa.
Good night, ma'am. Good night.